Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping headfirst into a market trend that seems, well, completely counterintuitive. Revival of prime central London housing. So our mission today is to unpack the sources showing how these huge price drops in luxury areas are actually creating new opportunities.
It's a crazy turnaround, really. For years, PCL, that's prime central London, it just felt stuck.
Right.
But the sources we have now show a landscape that's been totally reshaped. And it all starts with one core fact. Prices in PCL have fallen by a fifth.
A full 20%.
20% over the last decade. And that just fundamentally changes how people see the market value.
Okay, let's unpack this. A 20% drop in, one of the world's most famous housing markets is.
Right.
It's massive.
It is.
So if prices just outside the core in prime outer London only fell by about 6%, why did PCL get hit so hard? Was it just weaker or was something else going on?
It was definitely the latter. A singular external force, and it was primarily driven by rising transaction costs.
Stamp duty.
Exactly. The steady increase in stamp duty land tax, or SDLT, and all the associated fees. It just disproportionately hammered the highest value properties.
So it was the tax structure itself.
It effectively locked up that top end of the market, and that forced prices down, that 20% versus 6% gap. That tells you the whole story.
And to make that tangible for you, just look at Chelsea. Back in 2015, the median sold price was, $13.59 per square foot? Now, in the second quarter of 2025, it's down to $11.82.
It's a fundamental repricing of a trophy asset. And what's fascinating here is what that did to the so-called premium.
The extra you pay for the location.
Right. Historically, PCL had this huge price advantage. A decade ago, a buyer would pay 75% more to live in Belgravia than in, say, Richmond.
75%, okay.
That chasm has narrowed all the way down to just 29%.
That is staggering. I mean, the premium has been more than halved.
It has.
And we're seeing it everywhere, right? The premium for Chelsea over Fulham dropped from 47%.
Down to 21.
And Bayswater versus Islington fell from 34% to 22%. So you're paying less than half the historical premium for that core London lifestyle.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, well, this is where the market fundamentals really get interesting.
So does this shrinking premium actually mean PCL is affordable again, even with mortgage rates so much higher than they were 10 years ago?
That is the exact paradox the sources are pointing to.
Huh.
For a certain type of buyer, the high net worth individuals who are less dependent on loans, that 20% price cut is a far bigger saving than the rise in interest rates is a cost.
So the total cost of acquisition has actually dropped.
Massively, which creates value, and the market is responding. We're seeing these improvements really piquing buyer interest in a big way.
The numbers back that up too.
They do. The number of offers made in PCL in the 3 months to August was 9% higher than a 5-year average.
Higher, okay.
It suggests that cash-rich buyers, people who aren't as worried about local interest rates, are seeing this as a great entry point.
You see the flip side when you look just outside the core.
Exactly. Prime outer London saw a 6% fall in offers during that exact same period.
Wow. So that confirms the demand shift. Buyers are literally moving back to the center because the value is there again. So what does this all mean? I mean, the experts we're looking at are forecasting that this price gap between central and outer London is probably going to keep narrowing.
Yes, at least in the short term, the PCL market looks like it's going to tighten up pretty quickly.
Right.
So I think the final takeaway for you is that these sort of concentrated price falls in one specific market segment, they can create a really powerful counter-cyclical opportunity. You're basically watching the market correct itself in real time.
Which raises an important question, doesn't it? If rising stamp duty was the main thing that caused that original 20% drop, then how might future changes in tax policy, either cuts or even more hikes, affect how fast this price gap continues to close?
It's the key variable going forward.
Definitely something to mull over as you track the London market.